welcome back to International Scale Modeler. I'm Lee. Today we're going to do a very rare At the Bench update from me. Now, as you know, I don't get a lot of modelling time, but it is summer now. My transport company stops dead, usually at the beginning of June until the end of August, and then September it picks up again. So hopefully what I do is I'll have a chance to do some stuff during the summer. Now, a lot of the problems is during the summer here, the heat, where it gets up to 30-40 degrees, makes it near on impossible to spray. What I have to do is close off this room, get an aircon unit going for a good hour before I start spraying, just to get any adhesion from the paint. Well, because otherwise it just ends up like being sandblasted. It's just rough. It's like sandpaper. It just dries before it hits the model. So I tend to do a lot of building and things like that, and 3D printing is quite good at the moment. But I am going to get a new portable aircon unit, so I can put it in here for the summer. So I should be able to, you know, paint some models as well, because I hate having loads of painting jobs lined up, because the building part I really enjoy, and I enjoy the painting part as well. But I've got to say, it's I can build and build and build, but painting I've really got to be in the mood for. So I do need to get one of those. So what I'm going to show you is just some odds and sods that I've done, some model related, some most 3D printed, and show you what projects I'm working on at the moment and what I've got coming up, and some reviews of new kits and that I've bought over the last, God, when was the last time I did one of these? I think it's about 7-8 months ago, I can't remember, something like that. So what we'll do is, first of all, I shall do these. Some Bandai, a couple of Bandai models that I have done recently, just to get my mojo and back in the swing of things. I've got Darth Vader and a Death Trooper here, as you can see. Now, if we go to the overhead, you'll see that Darth Vader here, I was totally unimpressed with this kit, unfortunately. I love Darth Vader, as you all know. I've got loads of different types of Darth Vaders all around the house. And this one I just thought could have been done a bit better. It's a bit gangly and a bit, you know, odds and sods here and there. Without the cape, it's nothing. You know, there's not a lot you can do with it. And it's all very flimsy, the cape, and it needs a lot of work. It would need a lot of modelling work to get that to a standard where I would be happy with it, that's for sure. But I do have a new Darth Vader. So we have had a completion there of Darth Vader. So we're going to pop him there, look, because he has the power. We then got the Death Trooper. Now this kit, if we go to the overhead, I was actually really impressed with. I thought this one was really good. It was really well put together, well thought out. There doesn't seem to be any gangly joints like there is with a lot of the Bandai stuff. His arm under there is a bit wrong, but that's about it really. Apart from that, he looks the part. I went for stickers instead of decals on there because I didn't paint it or anything. And my son is eternally looking to play with these, which he doesn't get to do, obviously. But that went together really well, and that's probably the best Star Wars kit I've built, or the Bandai Star Wars kit that I've built so far, and it's one of the ones that I enjoy building. I did it in the night, in an evening, just when I had some quiet time to myself. So I've done some models per se, you know, a couple of Bandai kits, and they were really good and fun to do. Just a little bit disappointed with Darth, but maybe I had high expectations. Right, I don't know if you remember, you guys, about a year or so ago, I 3D printed this. This is obviously Terminator T800. It's one of the first prints I did actually on my 3D printer, and it came out absolutely fantastic. Really good. I think it was something like an 18-hour print or something. It might be more. It might have been 28 hours. I can't remember. I know it was a lot. It was a long time anyway, and really did put the printer to the test. But I've cleaned this up quite a bit. Lots of little bits here and there. There's still some bits that need doing. But what I have planned for this is I printed out a Darth Buddha, as you can see here. Okay, and this was quite... it had a lot of texture, a lot of striation lines and things like that on it. And I wanted to try to see if I can, rather than sanding, because sanding these things is an absolute ball ache. It really is. And UMP sanders are fantastic on them, obviously, and they get into places that they need to go. but it is a real ball ache. You have to make the walls a little bit thicker if you're going to do a lot of sanding and things like that. So it takes extra print time, extra print and everything. So what I did, I found some of this. Now this is XTC 3D brush on coating for 3D printed parts. I thought I'll give it a whirl, give this a go, then I'll try something else, because there's several products out there that do the same thing as this. Have a quick look in the box. You get 2 bottles and a brush and an instruction sheet. The brush, this you would use for heavy duty big prints, but you get these. Basically it's a resin mix of a sort, self-leveling, etc., and it says it covers 90% of the work and things like that, and it's a 2-to-1 ratio and all this lot. So I thought I'd give it a whirl and see how it does. Now what I did, I tried it on this Darth Buddha first of all, as you can see, and I think it came out quite well actually. Let's see if I can zoom you in just a little bit. And as you can see, it's taken out a lot of lines. There was a lot of striations on the helmet and around the sides and on the belly as well. And it's actually done quite a good job of getting rid of most of the stuff. The only thing is, it may have got rid of some of this swirly paisley pattern detail here. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to spray this with a matte black, obviously UMP primer, and then see what we've got after that. Because at the moment, you can't see what's left and what's not through the resin. But it seems like a really, really good thing, and it's fingers crossed it's going to do well for that, because what I want to do is I want to use it on this, the T800, but I'll put it on a bit thick on that one. I've practiced on something else, get it a little bit thinner, because I do want to paint this up. I have to say I want to give this a titanium, alclad titanium with some red eyes and things like that, and maybe pick out the lettering and everything as well. So this is going to be another project that I'm going to work on over the coming weeks as well. This resin stuff does take about 2 days to dry. It says it dries in 20 hours or something like that, but 2 days for sure. So yeah, so you can see I've had a few little things on the go. This isn't it though. I did start this. Now this was from the birthday club last year, which is a Takom V2 rocket. As you see, it's quite a size, very big indeed. It's let's just zoom out on the top screen there, and as you can see, very big indeed. Unfortunately, I had a few problems with it, as you can see from these photos here. It's the main fuselage was completely warped. I mean, really warped. And it was a good 4 or 5 mil out, and the only way I could do it was 3D print an inner tube, basically an inner fuselage, to push out the one that had warped, because it had warped in, not out. So I did that, and then I've filled it here, as you can see, and up the sides here. Now there's a lot of rivet work to do to repair down these seam lines, so they haven't gone together very well at all, unfortunately. And because they were still out by a reasonable amount, I've still had to file it down a bit. But this one's come unglued here, and I was like, oh bloody hell! And my son was in the room, and he said, "Oh, can I have it then, Daddy?" And I thought, do you know what? I said, "What are you going to do with it?" And he said, "I'm going to paint it and do it my own scheme." I said, "All right, then fine." So I'm going to give that to my son. So thank you, birthday club. It's a big old rocket. And it's something that he can play with once it's been varnished, or he can have it up on his shelf in his room. So I'm looking forward to that. So he's going to do that now. I did do the base already, as you can see. That was all ready for weathering, but you know, well, not anymore. So he keeps asking me when he wants to base paint it. So I'm going to get, I mean, it's up in the 30s now, the temperature. So it's got to be painted very, very soon. Otherwise he's not going to be able to do it. So I think over the weekend we're going to sit down with him and get him to base coat this and everything. But it's a shame really, because I love rockets. I'm a real rocket fan, and it's not making up for something. Right, I also 3D printed this. God, this was about a year ago as well. So no, probably about 6 months ago. I can't remember if I showed it or not. Go on the overhead so you can have a quick look. And it's a spacecraft from A series. I can't remember what series it's from, but it came out really well. It's 3D printed like that in one piece. I'm here. Thanks, Siri. I need to Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Of course you do. So I've done that. I'm just going to maybe give that a coat of that 3D stuff with that resin as well. I think that needs it, and so we've got that one as well. I like it. It's a bit different. I'll put it back together in a minute. But it's good. The 3D printers are going really well. The other thing, 3D printing again, I'm afraid, is this. Now this is a print that I got off of the internet, and it was from one of the, I think it was My Mini Factory, or one of those. I know it's on most of the sites anyway, which is a cutaway moon. If you go to the overhead, you can see it was in green, but I had an idea from a picture I saw online. So I've painted the inside like this coppery bronze. I'm going to leave it like that. I'm not even going to weather it. I think it's quite effective as it is. It needs some, I'm going to put some, I don't know whether to put a satin varnish on that. And then as you can see, I painted the moon like this titanium silver colour as well, which is quite nice. Really effective. And I've seen someone put lights in this and everything. I really like it, and the wife actually said she really likes it as an ornament, so it's actually going to go in the lounge. Woohoo! A modelling thing that goes in the lounge. That's got to be a first, surely. Really chuffed with that, how it came out. Can do it finer. That was on a medium print. I could have done a fine print, and it would have come out even better. But it's really good. I haven't even sanded it. I haven't done anything to it at all. Literally just primed it and sprayed it. Well, I primed it with UMP primer, of course. And just sprayed straight over it, and it's quite a nice piece. So really good. I think that took quite a long time to print. I think that was the 18-hour print, and the Terminator head was 26 hours or something like that. So it's not a case of me not doing anything over the last few months. I've been doing odds and sods. I just really haven't had the time to model. It's been a nightmare. That V2 rocket is all I've really done over the last 6 months. But that is about to change, because I've had several models. I've had a little splurge of models over the last 3 months or so that I've bought. Now what I'll do is I'll run through them quickly with you so you can see what I've got coming up, and I will be doing reviews of these over the next 3 months as well. So lots of reviews of, I've really gone away from mainstream models now. All my airplanes and the tanks. I've sold most of my tanks. Literally I've only got about 5-6 tanks left. They're all the nice ones that I have. I've got sold a lot of the aircraft as well. I've still got a lot of the favourite aircraft kicking around that I want to do, but I think I may be really tight myself and get rid of a load of those. I've got a stash of, I think I was over 200. I've now whittled it down to about 150. I want to get down to below 100. What only piques my interest these days is not your World War II stuff. Just doesn't do it for me anymore at all. It's more modern fighters if I'm going to do any jets or anything like that. Tanks, modern tanks, not the old stuff, and it's more of the modern. It's taken me a few years to find where I want to be, but to be honest with you, I like the oddball stuff, the short run stuff, the stuff that you can't get much of, or is not a great popular modelling subject. So what I've got is I bought 2 of these. You've got this one, which is the obviously now Blade Runner is my favourite movie of all time, and we've had the new Blade Runner as well, which is fantastic. So we've got police car number 27 from the original Blade Runner, and a Deckard sedan as well. And I've got both of these. These are by Fujimi. And I should be doing reviews on these as well. If you go to the overhead, you can have a quick look inside the box. There's not a lot to them, I have to say, but I have a couple of dioramas planned for these, and I really want to get started on these. But these are going to be more of a, I'll do the cars, then I'll do the diorama. But those I've got those from Japan, along with no, that was it. That was just those 2, which I got from Tokyo Model Detective, Darren Bloomfield. So thanks, Darren, for those fantastic looking kits, and something I couldn't find in England. I also went to a company called Paragraphics, and they do a etch set, and it's a double etch set for Deckard sedan and police car number 27. So you can do, go to the overhead, you can do both of those kits from this one set of etch, which is brilliant, and it's got decals in there as well for the computer displays and everything. So that's great. So I think that was only about 10 bucks, 20 bucks, something like that from America. But I thought rather than just pay for that, I'll go the whole hog, and I'll get some other stuff as well from Paragraphics. I also got this Mercury 9 rocket photo etch set. I don't know if you know, there is a review of the Mercury 9 rocket on ISM going back. God, that's got to be 2 years ago now, I think. And I always said that's a diorama for sure on that one. And the Paragraphics actually do a photo etch set for it as well, with some radio towers and some odds and sods and things like that for the rocket. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's another set as well. From Paragraphics, I also got two Viper sets, a Viper 7 and a Viper 2. Because I've rebought, you know, I've done a Revell 132 Viper Mark II before, but I'm going to do another one because I wasn't happy with the first one, how it came out, and I've got a Mark 7 as well. So I've got both of these, so I've got some nice photo etch sets to go on both of those as well, and again with the decals for the electronic heads up and the cockpit displays and everything, which is great. So again, I should be doing those again. So you can see that sci-fi is my thing at the moment. And I also got these from Paragraphics as well, which is damaged whole fuselage panels. Now, these are painting templates, as you can see, and just to give this damaged hole. Now, you can do one or two things. You can cut away. It's a template for cutting away from the hull. Or you can stick them on and then cut away and things like that. So it'd be interesting to see how those work as well. But I only got those because I had to spare 10 quid to get free postage or something, I think it was. So I got those as well. So lots of little extras and PE wise for those cars and for some other stuff that I've got to do. The other kits I've got this, which is a fantastic birthday present from the Birthday Club. A massive thing. This is Cherno Alpha from Pacific Rim. I love this film. Josh loves this film as well, my boy. And this has got a lighting unit and everything as well. So I'm really looking forward to building this. What I want to do though is I don't want to just build it like the other Gundam that I've built in the past. I really want to weather it and build it properly and get it up together. So that's a long-term project that I may have on the go. But I'm not going to start that until I've finished the Lamborghini Aventador, which I have going, which is another one I'm going to start doing again very soon. Also got this was from the Birthday Club, again another sci-fi Shinden 2 kit. I do believe this is based on a kit that the what's it called, Burkat, something like that kit. I should do a review of all these kits, I think, coming up very soon. But again, that's another one that I want to do. All of these have gone straight to the top of my to-do list, to be honest with you. And I'm hoping to get at least 3 done before the end of the year. I also picked up this at Telford. Again, now Jeff Coughlin got me into this one from Scale Modelling Now. He did a version of it I thought was really good. So I had to buy it. It was there on cheap at Hannets, I think it was. So I've got that to do as well. I will do a review of that one because it's a big old chunk of plastic in there, that's for sure. So I'll do a review of that as well. I've also got, these only came the other day, I've got some fantastic plastic stuff. Now this, I don't know if you've heard of them, but fantasticplastic.com is a short run producer of fantastic sci-fi stuff that you would never get elsewhere in America. Unfortunately, I've missed loads of the old stuff that they used to do. There's some real good stuff on there that I'd love to get, but it's all out of production now. They do very short runs of it all. The first one I got from them was this, which is the Caprica Air Force Jet Viper from Battlestar Galactica. As you can see, now I've got this because I love Battlestar Galactica. And I'm going to do reviews on these, but as you can see, it's a nice chunk of resin inside and everything, some decals and what have you. And I will do reviews on this. Now, this Jet Viper they've had in production for quite a while, so I do believe that this one is one that will be there for quite a while to come. I also got this. I've got this one for my son. This is the Milano 1/144 scale from Guardians of the Galaxy. This is Star-Lord's spacecraft. Saw this. I think this one will be in production for a while, but this is a massive chunk of resin. It really is quite heavy, and there's just one big chunk of resin in there. Again, I should do reviews on these, but a short run kit. Now, they aren't cheap, I will say. They really aren't cheap at all, these kits, and this one was quite expensive. Now this is the Con-Am Shuttle, 1350 Con-Am Shuttle. I don't know if any of you have watched the film Outland with Sean Connery. One of my favourite films when I was a youngster. I absolutely loved the film. It's about this cop that goes on this rig out in space on another planet, and people are dying because of drug overdosing and all this, like, and the company supplying the drugs. But this is the shuttle between the space station above and the thing on the ground. And I think someone posted this on Facebook or the ISM forums and said, "Oh, look at this, it's just come out." As soon as I saw it, I had to buy it. You can go to the overhead look, you can see it's quite a big box. But when you open it up, again, it's quite weighty. There's a lot of resin in there and lots of these peanuts. Big chunks of resin, lots of photo etch and things like that, multimedia kit. This one wasn't cheap at all. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it was about 140 bucks. It's a lot of money, but what I like about the Fantastic Plastic is I don't mind buying the money because they're short run, you're not going to get them again, and they're oddball subjects. I mean, who would have thought of building a Con-Am shuttle from a film Outland, which was from 1985 or 6 or something. So fantastic, and these are the sort of companies that we need to be promoting and supporting. Fantastic Plastic, you know, these Paragraphics, people like that. These people that do stuff that, you know, just enhance your experience for modelling. One other thing I've got, this was from RB Productions, and I got this at the last Talford again. I do believe it's now out of production, so I probably won't do a review of it. But it's a Yokosuka MXY7 Oka Type 22. And to me, it looks like no, it's the overhead actually. It looks like a converted buzz bomb or something, and it looks like one of those kamikaze aircraft. But there is actually a picture of one, so it looks like it was actually made, which is really amazing. But again, it's another short run kit, multimedia, lots of extras and odds and sods in there, as you can see. To be honest with you, this is going to be my first build of the new era of this next year or so. So I'm going to do this one first. It really interests me. I saw this now, but he had 3 left. It was 57 quid. He said they weren't going to make them anymore, but you never know, they may do so. So keep an eye out for that. It looks a really good project. Again, very expensive, but I love this sort of stuff. I think from now on, this is the sort of stuff that I'm going to be going for. It's going to be the resin and the short run stuff and stuff you wouldn't normally see elsewhere. But that is my update. So fingers crossed, the next At the Bench update I will have, this will be done. This will be started, and the Lamborghini Aventador, the Porsche Lamborghini Aventador, will be much further along. I'm hoping to get down to that. I've got a bit of work this week to do. Next week I'm completely off. The mother-in-law's out here, so they're going off with my son and my wife. So hopefully I'm going to get I'm going to take the week off and have some modelling time. So hopefully get a lot of that Lamborghini done. And fingers crossed, get some more of the build video done of it as well. So hopefully get that out. So fingers crossed, I should be producing a few more videos over the next couple of months, that's for sure. Summer's much better for me. So that's it. That's my bench update, as you can see. Lots of goodies to get on with. And working on odds and sods, but fingers crossed, I'm going to actually do this model. I really, really want to get that done. I'm really looking forward to that. So that's it from me. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.